I hold this 4-footer coming back, and just the relief was just amazing.
You're in the open.
In the open. So turned up, final stage, and the funny thing was, the night before final stage, my employer now, Dan Webster, I was actually out because it was lovely weather, and we were in Lytham, me and my wife and one of my wife's friends, and we were actually in a place called Barrique, and do lovely wine, and we're having a glass of red, eating cheese, and Dan Webster's walking past, and he goes, "What are you doing? You're playing open qualifying in the morning."
Just to people who don't know, he's also the head professional at St Anne's Old Links.
Yes. Now, I work with Dan.
Because he also owns Lytham Golf Academy, where I used to work, and so does James now.
Yeah. So he's going, "What are you doing? You've got open qualifying in the morning." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be fine. Just going to have a couple more glasses and a bit more cheese, and then we'll get on the tee."
Because in theory, that's what you did for regional qualifying.
Yeah.
So you just weren't changing anything.
It wasn't changing a thing. Nothing changed. It was very relaxed. Bit of alcohol involved. Obviously not daft. But
Were you nervous?
No, not one bit.
Honestly.
Not one bit.
And probably not as nervous about shooting a bad round there.
No,
because again,
I had no expectations at all. And this is what we need to touch on as well. Like, in life, I was so happy. I was 9 months into my new career, like teaching and working like at Clark's, starting my PGA, but things started to happen. Like, I proposed to my girlfriend at the time, and she was now my fiance, and I was starting to like contribute towards like bills and paying the house.
Yeah,
and,
great.
Like, my life became better.
What you envisioned after, you know, hanging up your glove and your golf shoes
Exactly.
at the end of 2017.
Yeah, so inside I was very, very happy, and I had planning a wedding and things like that, and I just had no worries whatsoever, absolutely no worries. And then I had no expectations either, really.
No financial worries as well.
No.
As you mentioned in the first podcast, with the credit card bills and racking up like 30 odd grand bills and paying £4,000 every week and paying a caddy and all this, that wasn't there either, was it?
Like my life became much simpler. Like, it was just, I go to work, I earn money, I pay my bills, done.
What I always liked about coaching, and I remember this very vividly as well, and you probably started to see this. I remember coaching a full day diary and, you know, earning good money, thinking, you know, I've taught 12 hours there. I've really enjoyed it. I've helped loads of students get better at golf. At the end of it, I've earned decent dough.
Yeah.
And I always remember probably a mutual friend of ours, I won't mention his name, but he put on Facebook that he'd shot like a 66 or a 65 around a you know, mini tour event or so, and earn X amount. And it wasn't as much as I'd earn a day coaching.
Nope.
And I hadn't had to hit a golf ball.
Yeah.
And you think, for him to go out and shoot a 66 or a 65 to win that much, and he was boasting about it, it goes back to that idea that the tour professional golf is so money orientated that you do often get quite lost in that kind of in that world, really.
I think
Definitely.
with that though, I think certainly, you know, with football, we're all aware of the Premier League, the Championship, League One, League Two, and it goes down to obviously different leagues even lower than that. So people would know that kind of you might be a professional footballer but playing for Southport. You're not going to be earning as much as Ronaldo, whatever, Juventus, whatever it might be. But with golf, a lot of people, even quite hardcore golfers, don't really understand all the different tours and how the money obviously doesn't necessarily drip down. And like you said before, it's not always as simple as I won a pro event. Oh, right, you're a millionaire then. You might have won 400 quid or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, even less sometimes.
Where you're now coaching 10 hours every day and seeing the benefits, and you've not had to get stressed and you've not had to get worried, and you're not thinking about overheads or your caddy or travel or being away from your family and your fiance. So like, you were in just a ridiculously better place in your life.
Definitely. Just enjoying what I was doing. Obviously, I enjoyed playing golf, but through the bad times, it was hard.
Of course.
Just a quick question. This might be a really silly question, so I just thought of it then. Obviously, with you going into Clark's, really busy facility, and you're the guy that's playing the European Tour, I mean, that is some validation of you as a player, and I imagine that you got a lot of clients off the back of that. Firstly, did you? And secondly, did you ever get anybody who was almost worried to have lessons off you because they felt they were so bad at golf and you were clearly so good that they might feel inferior or embarrassed or reluctant? Did that ever come up or not?
Definitely had a few comments like that, like people saying, "Oh, I didn't know if you were too good to teach me."
Yeah.
But it's just misinterpreted, isn't it, basically, when they're reading the description about me, because I did have that at the side of my name, ex-European Tour player. And it might have put some people off, but at the end of the day, I'm still a knowledgeable coach willing to teach people.
You'd imagine you get more people than you're going to lose off the back of that, obviously, aren't you? People want to get coached by someone that's been there and done it as well.
Yeah, a lot of people did come to me for that, and the first thing they'd say in the lesson, "Oh, you used to be on tour, didn't you? And have you got any stories?" And you think that you feel like you're eating their time when you're thinking, "Come on, let's try and sort that slice."
Were some people again a bit confused, going, "Where's your Ferrari outside?" And where's like were people a bit like, "Hold on, I thought you're a tour player," like, because again they have that perception of the gold European Tour card we spoke about before.
Sometimes, definitely, yeah. They used to. It's so top heavy, like we were saying before. It's about the gold at the top, but people often thought often said to me like, "Why are you not playing anymore?" And you say, "Well, how many hours have you got?"
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is only an hour lesson.
Well, and we're already 2 hours into a podcast. So,
exactly.
Right, so fast forward. Not first hole. We won't go shot by shot, but final qualifying, first round. What do you post?
Good question.
I feel like I might even have it on my phone.
I tried to get it up then. I couldn't find it very easily online.
Was it 6 under, 5 under? 5 under.
No, I've not got it.
It was 5 under, definitely.
Was that leading? I take it then.
No. I was 2 behind. 7 under was leading.
And what did you think when you shot at 5 under? Was the heart started to race? Did you change your mentality? Did you go out for wine and cheese again, or did you stay home? No, it's straight after.
Same day.
Of course, I forget. So you had no time to think.
I had no time to think.
That's probably a good thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because possibly if you had time to think, you might have changed your...
Well, I remember Dave Clark was there, and I saw him, and he was like, "How have you got on?" I said, 5 under. And he was like, "Oh, that's all right," kind of thing. And then I just had my sandwich and sat on my own, took my shoes off because it was such a sunny day, and then back on the tee.
Sometimes you don't have time, do you? It's really quick turnaround in 36.
Yeah, but there was no nerves still, no expectations really. But my mindset was, I'm 2 behind. Like, I need to keep pressing on because there was a 7 under in. So, and
was it Marcus Armitage?
It was Armitage and Jack Senior were the other graduates that year. So, which were all friends, so it was weird. But I stood on the 10th tee in the second round, and it's a par 4, isn't it? And
it's
like
dead short.
310, 320, something like that.
A couple of bunkers you got to get over, but nothing much.
And I remember just in the first round, I'd hit driver straight into the middle of the green. In the second round, just hit driver straight into the middle of the green. So it was just a really easy birdie to get going. And then actually drove. This is how bouncy it was. I drove the 11th as well. So I drove 10, drove 11, and before you know it, I'm 7 under, and I'm on the tail of everybody. And then we got round to the 18th hole,
just a par 5,
and I've hit 3 iron off the tee. Is it 550-ish?
Something like that.
It's about 550. I've hit 3 iron off the tee, and I've got 274 yards to the flag, and I've hit 4 iron. And one of my friends, Henry Pond, stood on, the mound.
On the hill near the car park.
Yeah, he stood on the hill, and I've hit this 4 iron, and I've said to my dad, like, that is perfect. Like, it just felt good. But it all depended on how much it bounced and whether it bounced straight. And Henry gives a thumbs up, and then he gives another thumb up, and then he shows like a 12-inch ruler basically with his hands. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it can't be that close. Get up there, and it's stiff. So I tapped that in, and at the time, what would have been? I would have been 11 under through 27 holes then. So I was leading.
You're pretty good at golf, aren't you?
Not bad.
So far, we're 2 hours in, and that's something I've realised. You're pretty good. So you're 11 under through 27 holes.
Yeah.
Leading, do you know?
I felt like I was tied first at this point. I might have been leading by 1. Stood on the first, and the flag was front right, and it was very easily drivable.
So some people just missing that. Your second round, you started on the 10th.
Started on the 10th, 2
now,
tee start, yeah. So now I'm on the first, so it's my 28th hole, and I've hit driver, and I've missed the green just short right.
Again, you can drive that first hole.
Yeah, like easily, and missed that green just short right. So short-sided, and in my head it was like, it's like a long par 3. Like, you should be making another 3 there, and I made par, but then battled round and carried on, and I bogeyed the 4th. I hit it in a trap on the left off the
Yeah.
tee and made bogey.
That is stroke 1 though on that course.
Yeah. And then parred the par 5 next, which was a good par at the time, but then birdied the other par 5 coming back the other way.
Yeah.
And at this point, I knew I was leading. No, tied first, sorry. And then 7th. And there's a massive crowd walking around me at this time.
Was there?
So it was,
How big would you say the crowd was? This is family, friends, just randomers as well.
yeah, but members of the golf club.
Oh, yeah.
And just local people, just knowing I was doing well. And I'd say probably 70, 80 people.
Right.
Wow.
And I stood on the 7th and I've absolutely ripped driver up the middle, pitched it in, made another birdie. So then I knew I was leading by 1 at this
And
point.
again, are you nervous?
No,
How?
just because I was hitting it so well. Like hitting,
Mate, that's just what I've never experienced.
there's no nerves when it's on the rope.
Yes.
That is good, that though, isn't it?
But then I remember
Do you almost, very quick one,
Go on.
when you've got like a big crowd like that and you're playing well, do you almost show off?
it was like, yeah, I'm going to show you all my skills.
See, I'd love to get to that point.
But I was just,
Not that I ever will, but as in like, I can imagine when I've heard people say that, like Rory's talked about it when he shot the course record at Royal Port Rush.
Yep.
When he had loads of local people and he was like, I'm just going to show off, and he shot like 10 under or whatever stupid. Sounds like it's kind of quite familiar to you there, where you're like,
yeah,
all right, I'm just going to keep going making birdies here.
yeah. Well, my dad was like getting so panicky at this time.
And is he nervous?
He was really nervous, but he'd put a big bet on me, so he was really nervous.
You're allowed to do that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. What odds were you to get? Was it odds to get through?
I can't actually remember. I think it was like mid-50s.
All right, so he made a few quid, I'm guessing. Then.
Yeah, well, he won more than I won for winning it.
That's class.
What?
Yeah,
That's
so,
crazy.
And we were on now the 8th hole, which was my 17th, and I've hit 4-iron off the tee, and then I've hit wedge to like 3 feet, and then Dan Webster actually turns up with his camera at the back of the green, starts filming me, and I've just fallen asleep over this 3-footer. But all I'm thinking is, I'm going to get in the open. I'm going to get in the open, like walking.
Oh God, I hadn't even. I'd
got-
almost forgot. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And
Like, when did you actually even start think? When did you start thinking that was a possibility?
my 16th hole when I knocked that putt in.
Wow. So
No, sorry,
seventh hole,
the 15th I birdied. Well, my 15th hole, but that was
the par 5.
the par 5. I birdied that, and then I knew I was tied first because there was a leaderboard at the side of the green, and then I birdied the next, so I knew I was leading.
And it was 3 people get in.
3 people, but I was tied on that par 5. I was tied with 3 people, so I was
Right.
thinking, God, just one of us get out of that pack, and I might not get in. If you get what I mean.
And were like, it'd be lovely if all 3 of you were like miles ahead of everyone else. Like, was it really
Yeah,
compact?
it was close. There was people like at 9 under as well. So I
What?
and then Dan Webster turns up with his camera on my 17th, the 8th hole.
Yeah, yeah.
I've just fallen asleep over this 3-footer and missed it.
What? So there's footage of that somewhere.
Yeah, so I should have gone to 8 under for the round, which would have taken me to 13 under, and then 9th hole,
Beautiful par 3.
beautiful par 3. I've hit 8-iron. Remember hitting it fairly decent, bounced at the front, rolled up to about 15 feet, and then I just had a moment to myself on that green, just thinking, I've done it. All I've got to do is just 2-putt from here.
What, describe that better. Like, come on, really go back in time and describe what the hell did it feel like that you're going to play in the frigging Open?
Well, I remember, if you've played that course, you'll remember that the 9th hole is like a bowl,
It's
isn't
amazing.
it?
Such a beautiful par 3.
And I'm down there on my own, and I remember just lining my putt up, and I took my hat off, and I remember just like running my fingers through my hair, just trying to have a moment,
Hoping there was a photographer there to put you on the front cover of the newspaper.
thinking, try and get a modelling contract. But I remember kneeling down, lining my putt up, and I was just looking up at, like, it's like a stadium, isn't it? Like
It is,
everyone,
like an amphitheatre.
Yeah, everyone was like high up around me, and I just thought, wow, like we're gonna do this in a minute.
What?
And then I got over the putt and I hit it quite firm, like going for it, because I was holding putts and everything. Everything was going my way, basically. I was playing well, and I rammed it probably 4 feet past. And then I was kind of panicking, thinking, I didn't actually look what second is. Like, are we 1 ahead? Are we 2 ahead? But in the end, I was actually 2 ahead, and I knocked it in anyway. and won
But were
by
you
2.
nervous over that putt? Were you like,
Oh yeah, I was thinking, God, I could make a meal of this.
So then, did you actually think of a negative? Because everything up until the build-up of that sounded like super positive.
There was a negative. It was like,
Is it like an undertone or?
yeah, it was more of a just focus hard on this. Don't fall asleep. Like the last putt you just did. Like you shouldn't be ramming a 15-footer down a hill when all you need to do is just nudge it whole side and tap it in for a nice easy win. But I hold this 4-footer coming back and just the relief was just amazing.
You're in the Open.
In the Open.
And then what happens after? It was like a circus, wasn't it? After that, like what the hell happened?
Well, we went in.